These are the 10 types of properties that you should not invest in. If you're looking to invest in property, do not buy these. My name is Russell Leeds.
And I'm Anna Leeds.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast.
So this is an interesting one. Ones not to buy. We normally say, buy this, buy this.
These are the ones not to buy. So what's number one?
Oh, well, this is definitely top of my list because we've been burnt big style by listed buildings. I feel like we've been burnt every which way with listed buildings, even as renters in listed buildings.
Yeah, listed buildings are a pain in the real problem with listed buildings is you never know how much the refurb's going to cost.
No.
It's almost impossible to estimate it. Like, we've bought listed buildings, and if you got a normal builder to quote it, they might say, I don't know, 50 grand.
That could turn into...
It could be anything. Like, we had one where there was
millions.
like some stone pillar at the front that needed fixing. You'd normally just put a new pillar in. But no, it had to be that exact stone. It had to be repaired. But it had to be repaired by a specific guy who was listed building approved, and it cost like 100 grand.
Well, I remember, maybe this is why I'm so burnt by it. We lived in a Tudor house at one point, didn't we? And It was beautiful. It was a Tudor cottage. And anyway, where our bed was, I put my engagement ring, and it fell off the side table, and in the floor there was a little gap, and it went behind under the floorboards. And I thought, oh no. So I was like, oh, no worries. I'll just take the floorboards up to get my engagement ring back. But it was to do that was going to cost me about 50 times more than the engagement ring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said...
I thought you just didn't like the ring.
No, and I was just like, oh, throw. And they, like, to actually get part of the floorboard taken up and put back because it was a listed building. So still in that property is the engagement. What, you're acting like we're not, it's not your engagement ring you bought me. You're like, really? Like,
I remember that happening, but I didn't remember it was because it was listed building.
So this is like my replacement one. And
I think you just wanted a new ring.
Yeah, I did.
And then when I said, just take the floorboards up, you're like, no, listed building.
No, and it was going to cost thousands to take the floorboards up.
So listed buildings, absolute pain in the from a renovation point of view. And you can't make any changes. You've got to basically leave it exactly as it is. So can they work? Yes. Are they worth the... I mean, like Tim did that beautiful listed building conversion in Coles Hill.
Yeah. Oh, I think...
And he made money from it.
Yeah.
But it took way longer. It was way more expensive than it's supposed to be. And it was a pain in the I would say.
And they are beautiful, like, when they're done. But I think, do you know what it is? I think you need to be an absolute expert in that field. I think you need to know exactly what you're doing. Exactly. I think it's difficult. It's difficult.
And risky.
And risky.
And you don't know what you're going to unearth. You don't know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
You can't get planning to do anything. It's just a pain in the
But to me, I think, well, why would you do that when there's so much better properties to go for? So unless you're passionate about a certain building or something that you're just like, yeah, but I love that. But
no, they definitely don't do it. Just never buy listed buildings.
No. Right, number 2, flats with extortionate service charges.
Yeah, so there are many flats that have got a service charge. I think 37% of flats have a service charge above 1% of the value of the property. For example, let's say you had a 250 grand property. If the service charge is above £2,500 a year, i.e. 1%, you find it very difficult to get a mortgage on them, if not impossible to get a mortgage on those properties, because the service charge is just too high. It also kills your rental income if you're trying to rent it out. Because you have to pay it as the landlord. Yeah, you just don't want to buy properties that have got really, and it's a sneaky trick. It's a rookie error to make, is to buy an apartment, especially if you like, buying it off plan, or it's a good deal, it's very cheap. All the rent, look at the rents versus the price. It's but have you checked the service charge? Because the service charge, if it's high, if it's expensive, it kills the yield. It kills the value of the property. It makes it very difficult to sell because you might have been a dummy and bought a high service, but other people won't.
No. And you just need to be, smart. Do due diligence. Like, make sure that it's, it's easy to find out. Just don't make the mistake.
And even if you're like, well, I'm buying it to live in myself, and I don't mind, but other people will.
Yeah.
So when you go to sell it,
it would be hard.
You're going to be hard to sell.
And I know everyone will go, yes, but it's my dream home, and I'm going to live there forever.
I've heard that one before. So number 2, flats, apartments, high service charges. No. Avoid.
So number 3, static caravans.
Yes.
So I'm always itching to buy one of those.
Oh yeah, of course. Said no one ever. Static caravans. Some people buy them as an investment though, and they're just not. It's like buying a new car as an investment.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to lose value.
Yeah.
So it's not like a house. Do you know what is interesting? In America, I found this fascinating because in England, we very much sort of think properties go up in value.
Yeah.
Right. So we always talk about houses go up in value. Houses go up in value. In America, they don't say that. They think houses go down in value. And I was like, what? You can actually reduce your tax bill and stuff by claiming that the house it's a depreciating asset. And I was like, what? How is it? And then they were like, oh no, the land is an appreciating asset. The house is a depreciating asset because the house gets older, the house gets run down, needs renovation.
Have a lot of a lot of buildings in different structures. They have a lot of wooden buildings, don't they?
Yeah, because they don't put anywhere near much value in the house. They put all the value in the land, not in the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is, when you're normally buying a house, you're buying the land. When you buy a static caravan, you're not buying the land.
No.
It's like the worst.
Kind of like, you're getting nothing really, are you?
No. It's just...
Caravan that's going to look crap in like 20 years and no land... No, I mean, I really don't see the appeal.
No, did you see that news article as well? I remember a little while ago. I can't remember the exact details.
Oh, the scam of the Park Dean, Park Resort.
They were like selling them for like 50 to 100 grand.
Yeah.
And then they had like a little clause in, which if you do buy a stack, if you're like, no, I really want one, check the paperwork. They had a little clause in where if you decide to sell it, you had to either sell it back to them at an 80% discount, probably what it's actually worth now, like 20 grand. Or if you wanted to sell it privately, you can do. Of course, it's now worth less. And you've got to pay a 15% commission to them. It just isn't an asset. I don't understand people that want to buy a static caravan.
I also just think, I suppose it's because people are thinking, I can rent it out all the time. And these holiday parks are full. I mean, I don't know the rates people are getting per night, but
you got to pay. You got to pay the ground rent equivalent.
And also, especially we're talking predominantly England. I mean, the summer months? I mean, who's going in their static caravan in November? Even if
it was high yield, so even if the rental income coming in was worth it. When you buy property, you want good rental income and the capital appreciation, and you've got the opposite. It's losing money.
Yeah.
Terrible investment. Don't buy static caravans. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. Just so you know, we are running a free training where I'm teaching the best strategies in 2026. So if you want to get onto that free training, click the link in the description. Right, back to the episode.
Number 4, a shared ownership property. Now, these always get me on Rightmove. I always think I found an absolute... I'm like, I found a property here. And then the disappointment when I realised it's shared ownership.
Oh, yeah, this one's a banger. Yeah. Look at this beautiful apartment for 50 grand. Oh, I only own 25% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shared ownership, I don't even look at it.
No, I don't.
If you've got the filter on Rightmove, turn it off.
Yeah.
It's not a good deal. It's... all the problems, right? So you might own a percent, let's say 50, let's say you own 50% of it, right? 50% shared ownership. Oh, great. But it isn't really shared ownership because, you own 50%, but you have to pay for all the maintenance, all the issue, any problem. It's 100% on you for like 50%
I don't really see
upside.
How that ever works, to be honest.
It's like a housing association normally owns the other half. It sucks.
Do you know what? They've gone for the market of people that are just like, oh my gosh, I've got to be on the property ladder, come what may, and just feel like it's better than nothing. But it actually probably nothing's better, just rent. Yeah,
it's like if a building needs a £40,000 roof fix and you only own 25%, you've got to pay for the whole roof.
Yeah.
It's like...
I don't see that...
It's just awful.
Yeah. Just
avoid shared ownership properties, whatever you do.
There's not much more to say about that. There's just not a...
You only own a bit of it.
You're
but
not
you
even going to have a nice caravan
responsibility.
holiday once a year. What would you rather? Would you if you had to? If you had to.
Shared ownership.
Over a caravan.
Not buying a caravan.
So it's better than a caravan. So number 5. Now I think people make a big mistake. I think the others, it's like we're talking about caravans and things, but this is one lots of people make a mistake. New builds. Mm-hmm. I think this is actually more, out there where people do just, you want shiny new. Ooh, new build. But they're such a bad investment.
Yeah, new builds are bad because typically you'll pay a 15 to 20% premium for having a new build.
Yeah.
Now, that means that, let's say you got, all the other houses on the street, 10 years old, they were built in the previous estate or whatever, or 20 years old. You're paying 15 to 20% more, but you'll lose that very quickly because it's no longer a new build anymore.
Yeah.
So now you're kind of the same as the other houses, but you've paid extra for a new build. And you might think, oh yeah, but it's probably going to have, it's new, so it's going to have less problems, like buying a new car.
Yeah.
You could argue buying an old car, you're going to have maintenance issues, etc. That's true to a point.
Yeah.
However, many new build properties, they're not built like they used to be built.
No.
So you're actually left with a worse product. Yeah, it's new, but after 10 years, they're not, because the margins are so tight now and build costs have gone up so much, they're skimping and trying to save as much money as possible. They're building a cheap, crappy product and you're paying 15-20% more for it.
Yeah.
So the only time, we have recently bought new build in Dubai.
Yeah.
And that was because we got a really good deal off plan. So I wouldn't say never buy new build, but in the UK where we primarily invest, I think new build's a mistake. You're paying over the odds for something that's going to be worth less. And there was an example, a lot of Taylor Wimpey homes, so they're doing a development. People were buying properties in the development. 3 years later, because they're still building new houses, they were having to sell them for 20% less than they bought them for, because who would buy their 3-year-old second-hand one when they're still developing and building new ones? So people literally are losing money. And when you buy property, you don't want it to be losing. Listen, eventually it will go up.
Yeah.
Right? Eventually. You're going to lose 15,
if you do
20%.
stay there for 25 years.
Yeah,
then,
it's going to go up.
Yeah.
People are probably going to say in the comments, like, I bought a new build and I sold 10 years later and made a profit. Yeah, you probably will.
Yeah.
But you're still paying over the odds at the time.
Yeah,
It's like the opposite of buying a BMV property.
And it literally is, because now I'm going to talk about it from actually someone who built some new builds and made a big mistake because he devalued his own properties.
Because he
put them on the market and then thought, while they're going through, I'll quickly whip some tenants in, and he devalued them massively because suddenly they're not new builds.
Absolute idiot.
Yeah, and you think that is literally, like they say, the minute you drive that car off the forecourt, you've devalued it, even if you went down the road to sell it, but you've devalued
It's got miles on the clock.
And I think that is the big thing with new builds.
Yeah. In general, as an investor, you want to buy properties as well. You want to buy properties that you can add value to.
Yeah.
With new builds, you're going to take value away immediately.
Yeah.
It's like the exact opposite of what you should be doing as an investor. It just makes zero sense.
So number 6, retirement homes.
Yes. Now, I'm not talking about care homes.
No.
Retirement, where you can buy like a flat inside a building, and it's for like over 60s living or whatever. You can buy that as an investment. Terrible investment for a few reasons. Number 1, legally, you've got to rent it to someone that's over 60.
Yeah. So
or whatever
suddenly,
the age is. So suddenly you've restricted massively who can live there.
Yeah.
That's like the opposite of what you want to do.
Yeah.
So you've got a tiny tenant pool.
Narrow it down.
Number 2, the service charges, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but the service charges are normally crazy high because they've got like a warden on site and this and that and the other, and they've got big communal areas and that. Now, that might be lovely to live in, to rent as a retirement home.
But you're paying like massive fees for that.
Yeah, it's gonna kill your yield.
Yeah.
But the really big one, so there too.
Yeah.
It already sucks. But the really big one that makes it really suck is that I almost can't believe this stat because I already didn't like it. But then when I saw this stat, I was like, wow. So
No, you really
I
don't.
really don't like it. On average, 60% of people that buy a retirement home When they sell it, 60%, that's a high number, right? Over half. When they sell it, have lost money. They sell it for less than they bought it for. Again, it's back to an asset that's losing value. You're losing capital appreciation. I mean, and apparently a big chunk of them have lost up to 50%.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? That, yeah, I don't see why.
It's just such a...
Why
would you buy... I mean, nearly all property goes up in value.
Yeah, other than...
Why would you ever buy an asset class that tends to lose value?
Yeah.
It makes... No, and difficult to rent out. And terrible yields because... Net yields, net yields because you've got really high service charges.
Yeah, but different to a care home. That's actually...
Well, that's a business,
That's a business.
And potentially a very profitable business.
Yeah, so don't get confused. Don't accidentally not buy the care home you was about to.
Yeah. I think someone that had enough money to buy a care home probably would understand the difference.
Get confused. Right, number 7, properties in a flood zone area. Now, this isn't so stupid, I don't think, as buying a static caravan, because this could just be...
It could be a normal property
that you accidentally don't do the right due diligence on and you don't notice, but you need to make sure you do.
Yeah.
But this could be accidental rather than just absolute...
Idiot. Where people have got caught with the flood zones is at auction, because you bid at auction, they've not done enough due diligence, and now they've got to buy it. They've paid a deposit up front, and they're stuck, and they've not done the proper surveys and whatnot beforehand.
And then you'll just struggle throughout. They won't lend money to, because
it can be very difficult to get a mortgage. And can be impossible
to
get a mortgage. And it can also be very difficult, stroke impossible, in certain areas. I think there's some properties by the River Severn. And they flooded a few years in a row, and then they just became uninsurable. And unmortgageable. And it's now, you're an investor, you've bought a property that is now uninsurable, unmortgageable. Well, the value is only going to go one way. And the interesting thing is, it isn't just by rivers and stuff. There are other properties that would look normal that are in a flood zone, and it's very difficult to fix it. I mean, we've looked at development sites, haven't we? And our rule of thumb, I mean, we're not massive developers. We've done 6 houses here and, block of flats and things like that. But we're not doing housing estates, right? We're like infill small developers. If you're a massive developer, you can fix the ground and make it buildable and sort it all out. But it's very expensive. Now, on a very big site, it could be worth it.
But on
our scale, for us, you see a flood zone.
It's just...
Especially high. You obviously got flood zone 1, 2 and 3. If it's a high risk flood zone, I would 100% be out there, and I wouldn't buy a property on a flood zone. You can check it. You can go online and you can look at the flood.
It's quite easy to check.
Yeah, it's not you have to have a survey. You can go and look at the map
online. It will tell you, like on a map, if it's in a flood zone.
Just search like flood zone maps UK, and you can go on. You can go through and look at it.
Very interesting.
I think property data map is quite good. For checking these sort of things as well. But
But we were recently out in New Orleans. We went there for a little bit, and we were in their French Quarter. And I'd done my work to see where I wanted to go and stop there, and it was like the French Quarter. You must go to the French Quarter. And on a tour, we were going round, and the houses were very pretty. But we went into another area, and the houses were like just as pretty. And I said, "Well, how much are the houses worth here?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing compared to the French Quarter." And I was like, "Why is that? Tourism is like, why are they so much more?" And he was like, "For one reason only. That's the only area that doesn't flood."
The French Quarter is?
Yeah. And that's why they're so expensive there. Oh, did I not even tell you?
No.
Because you went on that tour. That's the reason it's flooded massively, multiple times. And the only place that the houses didn't get destroyed was the French Quarter. And they're worth so much because it doesn't flood. Now, in recent years, after extensive flooding, they've tried to put precautions in. So they're hoping it won't flood. But that is solely why the French Quarter is worth so much, because it doesn't flood. So that's how much made me think, wow, just on that alone. It's like, and he said that's why they're all the expensive houses.
And if it is uninsurable and it floods, if they know it's probably going to flood and it floods, I mean, the cost, it just destroys the house.
It
just destroys it. So Flood zone properties. I feel like we're going quite somber on that one.
Yeah,
It's like we've all been like, don't buy, flood zone. Oh, yeah.
Just bad news.
It's awful, man. Awful. Depressing. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'm running a free training where you will learn the best strategies to invest in property in 2026. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Right, back to the episode.
Number 8, properties with bats in them.
Bats are one of those protected species, and I'm speaking from experience here because I've bought a property at auction and it had bats in, and it was an absolute nightmare.
So did you not realise it had bats in?
I can't remember. It was back in 2018.
Or did you just think, I
just thought I'd sort it. Problem properties. Yeah, not. No, there's some problem properties. I always like problem properties.
Yeah, and some problems are fine.
Some problems, like flood zones, bats, are not fine. Bats have got more rights than tenants.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's quite impressive, actually.
We did a development, and it was a nightmare for a couple of reasons. Lots of reasons, actually. The bats were one of them. And they do things like this, right? So before you can start your development, before you can start refurbing it or any work or do anything, you've got to get a bat survey done. This was in September. So we're like, all right, we'll get a bat survey done. Okay, great. It's got to be done in June.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything now. Bought it in September. If you've got it on bridging finance or something, It's like, right, can't do anything until you've had your survey done in June. Then you've literally, you've got to let them stay living there. You've got to build somewhere for them in the property, and you can't do anything about it. It
Can you
slows
imagine
everything down.
If you were kicking someone out and they were like, well, you can, but you've got to build them a house next door to
There's
live in.
There's a squatter.
Yeah,
you've got to build a squatter a little house on the roof.
Yeah, they can. You can't get rid of them, but they've got to live in the shed, the converted shed in the back garden.
We had 2,000 bats.
I know. That was
2,000 bats. We had to build a home for them.
They've got a nice home now.
Yeah, they've got a beautiful little house that I paid for them.
And again, the time that adds on, the money that costs.
Listen, if you know it and you're factoring it in,
it's got to be a darn good deal.
It's got to be an amazing deal
to think that's worth it. Because, like you say, even the slowing down of the time,
timeline, the cost of that.
And then after we got the survey, didn't we have to wait for, again, it was like, oh, it's a bit late now. You'll have to wait till next year to properly house it. Like, it went on.
It just went on and on and on and on and on. It was an absolute nightmare.
So just make sure, avoid.
Bats.
Okay, but how does someone know?
Surveys.
So again, you just go and get a survey done, make sure.
Make sure it doesn't have bats. You do not want bats. Have a look when you go around, check.
Do you do that every time now? Are you
every
there?
now I'm looking at the roof.
Number 9, non-standard construction.
Yeah, so you might think you've got yourself a good deal, and then you find out that it's non-standard construction. It's a real problem because lenders hate them.
Okay.
It's weird because when we went to America, they have lots of timber frame. In fact, they pretty much all are. But in England, so different countries.
Yeah.
In England, lenders hate them, which means it's difficult to get mortgages, which means it's very difficult to sell or get a good exit strategy.
Yeah.
You basically have to end up doing it at a really reduced price. It's a bit like buying a car that's category, is it Cat D or Cat C? It's,
Yeah.
it's been an accident and no one wants to buy it in the future.
Yeah.
You're kind of in that situation. So you're buying an asset that nobody wants to buy. Yes, you can rent it out normal and whatnot. It's not, from a rental point of view, from a yield point of view, it's pretty
fine.
normal. But no one wants to buy it at the end.
So if you ever do want to sell or you need to sell, you're in a bit of a...
So a lot of the banks like Nationwide, Santander, they've just got a strict blacklist against. No, we will not. So unless you want to spend 30 to 50 grand on a structural PRC repair scheme to wrap the house in traditional brickwork, which again, if you factor it in, if you're getting such a good deal that you can fix it and factor that into the costs, fine. But normally you won't. You're just going to be left with an asset that nobody wants to buy in the end. It's just one to be avoided.
Yeah. And I'd say number 10 is the biggest mistake of them all.
Well, I would say it was the biggest mistake.
We've still got the caravan.
You see, caravan's the biggest mistake, but it's the most likely mistake.
Yes, it is. Just a nice house to live in.
Just a lovely home that you want to live in, your dream home that you buy with emotions.
Yeah.
Why should you not buy your home? Because your home, if you're buying it as an investment, which it isn't if it's your own home, because you're buying it emotionally. You know, an asset is supposed to be something that puts money in your back pocket.
Yeah.
A home is a liability because you've got to pay for all the costs. You've got to pay for the repairs. It doesn't give you any money back in return. People say that rent is dead money, but so is interest.
Yeah.
On a mortgage.
It's funny this, because we rented for years and years and years. Probably the first 20 years we were together, we rented. We then thought, no, we're at that level now where we'll just buy because we can. Like, we'll just, you know, we know it's not great, but we'll do it anyway. So we bought ourselves a big house in Beaconsfield. And I still regret it.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, yeah, we can just have it. And it's great having a second home. And I still just think, why? We renovated it. It was all exciting for a year as we renovated it. And now I'm like, oh, kind of just wish we didn't have it and we could just move on. And I think... because we wanted it how we wanted it and we renovated it all but now it's like, oh, but now we've spent loads of money on it and I kind of think, even in that position.
And now we don't even live in it.
No, I still think, oh, why did we do
and it's not a good investment property.
No.
And now I bought it and don't live there.
Oh no, it's a crap investment property.
Yeah.
And we knew that, but we thought, oh wow, this could be our forever home. That's why I don't agree with forever homes, because surprise, surprise, that was our forever home for 2.5 years. Like,
a lot of people don't understand this, but when you're buying a property and it's an asset, it's a lot of money you're spending on it. You want to buy properties that are good assets, i.e. go up in value.
Yeah.
Well, i.e. a good rental yield. So our property will go up in value. It's not a terrible. It's not like the worst. It's better than having the money in the bank.
No, our problem is ours isn't a good rental property.
It's not a good rental property at all.
Yes, long term, of course, it's going to be worth more, but it's not great now for renting.
No, and imagine if we'd use that same money that we put on the deposit on that, buying, say, 3 or 4 HMOs.
Yeah, that would now actually be
cash
given.
flow.
Yeah.
It would cover our rent where we are now, just that alone. And instead, we're losing money on a...
We broke our own rule, didn't we?
Totally.
And we thought, oh, well, we don't mind now, but yeah.
And luckily, we've got enough properties, it doesn't matter.
No.
But for many people, that's the only one they buy.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine if that was the only one we bought. At least it's being covered by the rest of our portfolio.
Yeah. Well, that would just be like, oh, we've got this house. But you can also, just to extend that a little bit, you can buy a good property and then do stupid things. Like, we know someone... we won't name them, but another family member that was like, this is my forever home, and did a massive extension, and it wasn't worth it. And it was like, no, that's not going to, no, it doesn't matter because it's my forever home. I want to do it. And now they want to move. And you think, again, it's just stupid splashing of money. Well, it doesn't matter if you've got the money and you just think, oh, wow, wanted that big conversion at the time, had it for 5 years, loved it. But it's better to make sensible decisions if you can.
Agreed.
So
they are the 10 properties that you shouldn't buy. Let us know in the comments if you agree with us, if you disagree with us.
If you've ever done something stupid and bought a static caravan.
Or if there's any that we missed. Comment number 11, whatever that would be, below. I'm Russell Leeds.
And I'm Anna Leeds.
See you next week.